Hi, patrons. This is your March 2024 reading. I'm going to start with the significant astrological events. The first thing I'm really excited about in March is that it's officially the start of the new year. I know I've been beating a dead horse with this, but, you know, the energy that we've been feeling, I don't know about for you, for me, hasn't felt very renewed. I am praying that the start of the astrological new year comes with a lot of revitalization for the world at large, for all of us individually. That being said, it is also eclipse season, and we're going to see the fruits of some labor. I'll get into it a little bit more, but we have the lunar eclipse on March 25th, and it is the ending of the story that we started in October. So I mentioned that a little bit during the, I guess, full moon reading, but you're going to want to look at where you've had very serious shakeups, specifically since October. In the same way that after March 2020, there was sort of nobody whose life didn't change really drastically. I feel that way as well about post October 2023. So you just want to see how it has changed you. You will probably realize that it is ultimately for the best. Like even if it hasn't been, let me wait for this. Even if it hasn't been easy, and I'm sure it hasn't, there is a part of you that understands that it has been necessary. So this is kind of a month to just accept it, to understand that like your friendships have shifted, your perspectives have shifted. This is all a part of the age of Aquarius. You know, it's never been, nobody has ever said that revolution is easy, or even outside of revolution, that just like our lives generally are easy. I think we're all kind of still nestling into what life is. I keep wanting to say post COVID, but with COVID and with everything that has come after that, and with that, with upcoming elections all the world, it's a lot. So I am really excited about this month because it's a new year and because we'll have a lot of cosmic energy to support us and a lot of fire. And as a majority fire sign, I really thrive in fire sign seasons. But fire sign seasons, just generally for everybody, tend to be a little bit more productive. And while it will be a lot of new beginnings and a lot of revitalization, it's also going to be a lot of surrendering, a lot of just accepting that this is what it is, and sort of then starting to figure out what's next from here. It's not, if you're like me, I suffer from extreme nostalgia. I think on the past all the time, and I feel very sentimental about the past all the time, no matter what, like no matter is that I'm reflecting on. So, just kind of let some of that go if you can. Just try to be as present as you can, because what the world needs from everybody right now is very present energy, very well intentioned, focused energy. And eclipse season tends to bring quite a few shakeups, which, right, like what else? But what else could there be? But in terms of like your personal life, you could just see there could be a lot of finality endings. But again, because of the fire sign energy around it, it's going to be like that you're that you initiate, that you're about, or walking away from a job that you're happy about for the sake of the new year. Like, start to think about what you don't want to take into the new year with you. Okay, I'm going to try to make this reading not like 40 minutes long. Okay, so the other significant March astrology, Mercury on March 9th moves into Aries, and it is there until May 15th. Mercury rules our communication. Aries does not take no for an answer. They are, I think it's safe to say, the cockiest of all the signs. But when it comes to Mercury being in that sign, that means that you are going to have you're going to be very powerful in the way that you speak. You also just need to be very careful of the way that you speak and communicate from March 9th to May 15th. Something that comes to mind immediately is to be very, very careful about not over something that is ultimately tragic. I mean that to say, if and when we do reach, for example, a ceasefire, don't then be happy about it, but don't shove it in other people's faces. Don't then after that spend the time demeaning what the actual people of Israel and Palestine have endured by being having hubris around it. Aries tends to be somebody that they can really hurt your feelings, and so from March 9th until May 15th, we're going to want to be really careful of that. And especially in March, I think it's going to be easy to pop off. And it's just really never okay to do. But you want to be really careful to not do it, because the other thing about Aries is that once you've been sort of burnt out of their life, you're really done. They don't forgive very easily. Everybody talks about the Scorpio trait, but I think it's much more Aries. So yeah, be very, very careful. The bridges that you, Aries, literally burn or have the to burn through a yappy mouth, or, through something that gets misconstrued. Just be careful. Just be careful. Okay, then the lunar eclipse we talked about, new moon in Pisces on March 10th. I'm going to release a lot of ritual videos, because the new moon in Pisces, I think, is the most poignant one, because it's the new moon that we're using for the new year. And Pisces is a very artistic and flowing, I guess, sign. So you can be kind of dreamy, and you don't have to be so specific about your manifestations for this new moon. You'll have the ability to kind of dream about a feeling, and I think that's some of the pressure off. Then we have Venus moving into Pisces on March 11th and Mars moving into Pisces on March 22nd. So right now we're experiencing, as in today when I'm recording this, we're experiencing the Cazimi with the Sun in Pisces, Mercury in Pisces, and Saturn in Pisces. So that's the communication, the karmic stuff. And then Venus and Mars is our relationships and our action. So it's kind of the spillover into different areas of our life, which, makes sense for astrology. Okay, that's the astrological bit. Let's get into the cards. I'm really scared that this video is going to cut off because I've been taping a lot recently, so I'm going to try to make it quick. Okay, the first card that we start with is the Magician, which I love. I love that for the beginning of the astrological new year. It's just a card that's saying you have tools you need. It's time to utilize them. Don't waste the energy of the new year. If you haven't already, even I haven't yet, but write down everything that you have accomplished in this last year. Write down everything that you will accomplish in this next year. But remember that ultimately what we're manifesting is a good feeling, no matter what's happening in the world. And not even a good feeling, but peaceful feeling. So the Magician is a reminder that this month, while there may be chaos, both personally and at large, you still have the tools, no matter what, to be peaceful, to react peacefully, and to act peacefully. So that's that. Then we have the Queen of Swords reversed, which is the tendency to be hyper emotional. And swords are air signs, but also rule how we think. Actually, this is what I was just talking about with Mercury moving into Aries, because this is like Queen of Swords is just somebody writing a check that their ass can't cash. I just said today about somebody, oh, this person is talking to me like I won't act, like I won't get physical, which is not something I'm proud of, is just how my rage used to manifest. And it's always dormant in me, it's like always ready to spring out and go for something. And this Queen of Swords reversed is a good reminder that part of me has to be dead, and center can't hold. And this month it's going to be really important that you don't overreact to anything, because that has the potential to then delay or, God forbid, completely eliminate career prospects, because the next card we have is the Ace of Wands reversed. Now, I don't mean if it's something that you're not morally aligned with and that you don't want to do, then whatever. But I'm talking about, and what I'm kind of feeling is stuff that's like not even true. It's like this person is conflating something I said, which is not what I meant. But now that's gotten to the wrong person. And now I've lost this gig. I've, this person doesn't want to give me another chance, or I got fired, stuff like that. We're talking Aries energy this month. So even though it's towards the end of the month, it's coming in, and it's coming in now. And it's also all leading to a Mercury retrograde on April 1st, which again will be in Aries. So it's going to be like a lot of, I write down on my palm a lot of times DNTS, and it stands for do not talk shit. And I write it down on days when I know the transits are crazy and I might want to talk shit. This is a DNTS month. So, and the thing is, you could suffer for it. And I'm saying this to myself too. Like, it's willing to stand up for something and to align yourself morally with something, and to not accept anything than what you stand for morally. But there is still a system that we all, I think, have to play into a bit. It's kind of like this revolution is an inside job. And ultimately, also, you just don't ever want to hurt people. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You don't want people to misconstrue what you mean, or what you stand for, or who you are, what you're like to work with in a room, what you might be like in a relationship. I do think sometimes there are tactics for that. And obviously in your inner circle and in the sort of dharmic part of your life, like the people that are meant for you will just be there. But that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like burgeoning businesses, or, entering a new room just too hot, just like not letting people just get to know you. That's what this top row is giving me. This top row is giving me, you have the ability to create what you want that aligns with you. But if you're not careful, your mouth could ruin it for you. This second row is the Hanged Man, Queen of Wands, and the Emperor. So the Hanged Man is Major Arcana as well, and it's under the Magician. It's number 12. I love that it's under the Magician because it's 1 through 12, which is like a year. If you're listening to the audio, I'm physically ad-libbing in between these things, but I just love that. Also, the Hanged Man ruled by Neptune, which rules our dreams and illusion. So again, this is something else to be said. Like, remember that there's like a lot of, not that the majority of what we're seeing is real, and we're seeing it in a way that we've never had to see it before, and we never have seen it before. It is also important to remember, though, that just life generally is an illusion. Like, we're meant to be enduring this and going through this and fighting for the people that can't, etc. But ultimately, I'm talking as big as the picture gets, everything's an illusion. And Neptune, the Hanged Man, is a reminder of that. The Hanged Man is a reminder that it's important, no matter what, to flip your perspective. Even if, and I feel this way, even if you are 100% sure that there's a right and a wrong in any situation, and I feel this way all the time about anything, I immediately am like, this person is a yes, this person is a no. That's not right. There's everything is everything, and the Hanged Man is just encouraging you this month to really look at other perspectives so that your perspective can also be viewed by other people. But the Hanged Man also, on a positive note, is, I think, it's having had to wait for a very long time. So I do think there's some, and because it's under the Magician, some delivery of manifestations this month. Because next we have the Queen of Wands, which is somebody that's very passionate, determined, can lay the law down without being overzealous, and also has a lot of creative prowess. And it's under the Queen of Swords reversed. So this is what I feel like saying: play the game a little bit this month so that you don't get yourself kicked out of the rooms that you need to be in to make change. The Queen of Wands is somebody, and the Queen of Swords, when she's upright, they're both entities that can not manipulate, but, finagle a room in the way that they need to for the greater good, like for the long-term goal. And remember, we just had this Cazimi talking about long-term goals with Saturn in Pisces, and using your softer energy, your more feminine energy, to intuit what is right and what the long-term goal is. This is all a game of chess for us, right? We obviously, I know that there are actual lives on the line, but I mean, in terms of like creating change, you do have to be willing to say that it's a long-term game. And again, no, you don't have to be, right? That's the whole thing. Be malleable. But anyway, that's what these cards are saying, at least. The Hanged Man, pay attention to your dreams. Queen of Wands, don't sacrifice the things that you want short-term for the sake of image, or there are always going to be things that you have to do, or that you have to sort of maneuver in order to ultimately get what you want. It's like a million times now I've had the moment with my niece and nephew where I'm like, okay, you can have dessert if you take 3 more bites of this food. And I think that's a little bit what God or the universe is doing this month. I think it's a little bit of like, I know you want that dessert. I know you're tired, but you have to practice for 10 more minutes and you can have that. It's just, I know it's infuriating, but it is just playing the game for the sake of your goals and for the sake of who you will be able to help ultimately, if you're willing to do that. Then we have the Emperor, Major Arcana. It's the Aries card. Again, I love when it's literal. The Emperor is somebody that is... Also, I just have to say, this reading is not going the way I thought it was going to go. But the Emperor is somebody that is wealthy, very smart, and a little bit cold. They're a little bit detached. That's what makes them successful. They can represent father figures, but in this case, I think it's just like, as it pertains to the new year, I think it's just worry about yourself right now. And I don't think I really have to do this disclaimer anymore, but I will, because there are new people every month. But I never ever mean stop fighting for collective justice or for what's right. What I mean is sharpen up your own game plan so that you can actually help, so that you're not just somebody bitching about what you wish could be done. The Emperor is very, so do it, so run for office. So, so download the apps. So start exercising. Like, this is the Emperor energy is like very discombobulated when somebody's like, oh, this is what I want to do. And when the Emperor is like, so what have you done to do it? If you answer with, oh, I don't know, I'm just kind of like right now. I don't know if you've ever tried to tell an Aries, like, oh, I'm not really sure, like maybe this, maybe that. They're supportive, but they're like, oh, well, should you maybe try, they can't help it. Like, should you do this? Should you do something? And I think the Emperor is saying, don't just cry about it, do something. Again, do it kindly and do it deliberately, because this is under the Ace of Wands, because you do run the risk of losing opportunities if you are too cold, if you are too detached, if you are unwilling to hear other perspectives, if you're unwilling to work creatively with people that see things differently than you do. You know, if it's really, really hard for you, like if it makes your stomach churn, it does mine, then 100% that's part of your karma. You are meant to work through that feeling, and it that you have to give up doing what you believe is right. It's that you have to figure out more universal ways about accomplishing it. So then, how are we doing? 24 minutes. Okay, so then this bottom row, we have Six of Swords reversed, the Hierophant, and Two of Cups. So Six of Swords reversed is refugees. It's seeking refuge. It's a lot of what we're talking about, actually, but it's having to walk away from something or do something, you know, ultimately it's the best thing, but it's a very difficult decision. Again, I really feel like I think there are going to be some opportunities this month where people are going to say, like, I don't know, right, if this aligns with me. And the thing is, you have to make that decision for yourself, and then you just have to own it. You do. You know, generally, you don't find parents that have taken a very long journey with their children, you know, seeking a better life. No matter how hard it is, generally, at least in my experience, I haven't talked to people that regret it. Even for me, like building Hinduitive, being an actor, singer, trying to find a partner, it's never that, or hasn't yet been that I don't want it, so it's not worth it to do it. It's just that it's really hard. And Six of Swords reversed is very much like, yeah, shit's hard. It's going to be hard. Of course it's hard. And guess what? It just keeps happening. Like, you just have to keep walking away and doing things that are hard. That's the long and short of it. And it's under the Magician and the Hanged Man. So it's saying, like, you have all these tools. You've flipped your perspective, and you have to keep flipping your perspective. And Six of Swords reversed is like, yeah, and guess what? Like, you have to keep reminding yourself how to be positive, how to manifest. You have to keep flipping your perspective. You have to keep waiting. And then Six of Swords, like, you have to keep walking away from things that are hard to walk away from. Like, them's just the breaks. And the next card, the Hierophant, is about education and how you've been raised. It's under the Queen of Swords reversed and the Queen of Wands. So I would say that this month you be very careful not to get stuck in how you've been educated. You know, a good queen is willing to listen to all of her subjects. And I would imagine the Queen's wings had to listen to more bullshit. It's like when you go to your mom instead of your dad because you want somebody to say yes. But what is actually happening is that, you know, what's that saying? It's like a man, this is very gendered, and I don't mean for it to be, I just mean in terms of these tropes. But there's that quote that's like, oh, the king is the head, but the queen is the neck that turns the head. It's something like that. That's this energy. So just because you might feel this month more educated than somebody, more qualified than somebody, you know, like a better person than other people. I just had a talk with one of my best friends yesterday about how like sometimes I will see people getting wins and I'm like, but they're not a fundamentally good person. So why, but that's the kind of shit to get over. Everything that you learn every day, you have to be willing to unlearn the next day. And it sucks. It's so hard. But then we have the Two of Cups. This is a soulmate card. It's a love card. There's like no other interpretation of it. I think Aries energy could bring a lot of new love in. But I also will say, in terms of love, it's going to be important that you are open to connections that you weren't expecting, or kinds of people that you weren't expecting. I know for myself, at least, like I love to butt heads with somebody that I'm dating, just because I like for someone to stimulate me and I like to be challenged on what I know, because I am generally very educated. If I'm like talking about something, the chances are that I've taken the time to educate myself around it. And I have a lot of experience, and, we all do. But I think what this Two of Cups at the end of this is saying is that, like, you may, and with all of this, like with everything that we said, there's potential for you to miss an opportunity with somebody that you could actually really connect with, because you make a like, you're too quick to judge based on appearance or status, or, as I say all of this, by the way, like, I mean, me channeling is like, this is the message, but me as Yam is like, no, don't compromise on that. But don't compromise, but be open to other opportunities, be open to other kinds of people. I think some of you, there is potential for somebody to really, in an Aries way, just come in, and I don't know, I keep hearing like, I just have never dated somebody like this before. But yeah, that's the point, right? Because the people that you were dating before didn't work out. So keep your eyes open. This could be somebody that is in finance, or very involved with money, because this is under the Emperor, and also somebody that is very, very highly educated and therefore is able to like sit you on your ass around certain points, because it's sandwiched by the Emperor and the Hierophant. So yeah, this could be an Aries or a Taurus, and this also could be somebody with very like domineering energy, somebody that's like, actually, I can cite this, and I have the money to back it up, and I have the ego to back it up. Sounds great to me personally, but yeah, so be ready for that. Okay, the last card is the King of Pentacles reversed, which is interesting, because we were just talking about like, these men that kind of come in and you're like, I don't need that from you. I don't need this energy. But the King of Pentacles upright is somebody that's like very, very stable, very, very safe. Also Taurus energy. God, let this be for me, because I love a Taurus. This could be a Taurus that comes in that kind of, throws everything for a loop. This could also be applied to jobs, etc. This could be a Taurus boss. And remember, although in this reading I have had about this, I'm never talking about genders as a binary. I'm talking about the energetic properties of the masculine and feminine. So the King of Pentacles reversed is coming up because I think whatever comes in this month that you have the potential to squander, but you won't because you listen to this reading, has the potential to make you question your worth. And it's like you finally get something you want this month, in terms of like, it could be like a fat check that eliminates your debt. It could be somebody that comes in that is like, I want to provide for you. Like, you don't have to work. You don't have to do anything. But then even though that's maybe what you've been asking for, all of a sudden you're like, I need to work. I'm going to work. You can't tell me not to work. Now that you've told me I don't work, I'm going to work, double the shifts. The King of Pentacles reversed is kind of like saying that you need to not be as stubborn. And that's really the theme for this whole month's reading. Again, 0% the direction I thought this was going to be in. I thought we were going to get like the Sun and Two of Cups and blah, blah, blah. But of course, It's not how it works. But this is saying, nobody is above you. Again, Hanged Man, flip your perspective. There is not a single human on earth that deserves anything less than you do. We all deserve sovereignty and autonomy and, healthcare and love and all of it. So, as much as you can, be open to new characters this month, and be open to what they can teach you, and also consider, right, that you are this character for somebody else. Like, you're going to be coming into a workspace or a relationship with a new perspective that other people might be repelled by, and then will have to adjust to, and then thank God it will turn into potentially, a soulmate connection, or that kind of thing. So yeah, don't be stubborn. Use the tools you have. Don't let your mouth get ahead of you. Pay attention to your dreams. Try to distance yourself from your emotions as much as you can. Remember that this is all cyclical. We have to just keep doing this shit over and over again. And if we're not, it means we're dead. So be grateful for the ability and opportunity to do it. Challenge how you've been educated. Allow yourself to be challenged by somebody else. Be open to different kinds of people. This also includes, like, if you've done one kind of app for a long time, to do something else, or go to like some kind of class, hierophant, that you would never do. Like my one of my best friends just got engaged, and she loves to scuba, and I really want to learn how to scuba so that I can experience it with her. But I don't know that anything scares me more than that. The idea of being in, like, at the bottom of the ocean. I don't know. I don't think you're at the bottom. Anyway, maybe I'll take a scuba class, and then I'll meet somebody that is this kind of connection. But it doesn't have to be as extreme as that. Take a chess class or something. Learn how to cook a different kind of cuisine. Go listen to what the other side is saying. I think that's the major theme for the month. But as always, the theme is, above all, let's just do our best.